Just when you thought Star Wars could not kill anything else, it's already struck down the box office, it's already annihilated streaming, it's already devastated Disney. What else could it do? Well, Ubisoft, we're looking at you. Star Wars Outlaws, the game that was defended by the shills, the spit take man himself. Well, it has failed to attract an audience as predicted, and now Star Wars Outlaws is tanking the Ubisoft stock. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the place that helps you understand what's going on in the wacky world of Hollywood. We do it by understanding the Holly weirds better than they even understand themselves. Yes, that's an homage statement, folks. Today we're talking about Star Wars Outlaws, and we're doing so because, well, it's been devastatingly bad to the gaming industry. Huge amounts of money poured into it. Now it's so bad that they may even be delaying Grand Theft Auto 6. Having looked at this and realizing what woke is doing to the industry. Oh, you think woke go broke was a meme? Oh, listen, this is way worse. This is go woke go bankrupt. And that's Ubisoft right now. The crazy drama surrounding this is so fantastic in terms of its awfulness for everybody who made the thing. Well, you just can't believe it. Let's bring on the panel. We'll tell you about it right now. And John will be going to that Park Place for one of our stories today, which will be Ubisoft stock is tanking. What a story, folks. Star Wars has metastasized. It's no longer just destroying the film industry. It's no longer just destroying the streaming industry. Star Wars is taking down video games.
It's almost deja vu. It's almost deja vu with the Walt Disney Company. The Walt Disney Company literally spreading its infection to other companies. And the same thing is happening here.
This out of thatparkplace.com. John Trent, the author. If you're not yet bookmarked to the website, well, you should be. Ubisoft stock price drops 7% as company faces pressure from investors to take company private, and Star Wars Outlaws sales are soft. This thing's only been out a brief amount of time, and the company is down 7%. Somehow they'll spin this for a win and tell us all how beautiful this character is, and how, if you're mad about this, well, you don't even play the game. Why is nobody playing the game? Ubisoft, the company behind Star Wars Outlaws, X-Defiant, Assassin's Creed, and Rainbow Six, saw its stock price drop 7% in a single day as it faces pressure from investors to take the company private, as well as reports of soft sales for Star Wars Outlaws. You know, this just feels, familiar somehow. How is it? How could it possibly be that they keep doing this and the same results keep happening? And we just sit back and say, never could have predicted that, could we? The stock price has fallen to a low of 13.67 euros. Specifically, it fell over 7% in the past day. Remember, Ubisoft is located in France, I believe. According to Yahoo Finance, the stock price has declined over 16% in the last 5 days. It is down over 41% in the last 3 months and 30% in the last 6 months. In other words, it was going up and then came down 3 months ago. In the last year, the company's stock price is down over 50%. In the last 5 years, it has declined over 81%. Take a look at that. John, Culture, you guys are a bit more knowledgeable on this one than I. John, walk us through, and then Culture, give us some of that color commentary on what's going on with Ubisoft.
Yeah, so Ubisoft has been struggling for a couple of years now. They haven't really put out a lot of games. Their CEOs and their CEO and a lot of their executives have made some ill-advised comments that have really turned gamers against them in general. They've also embraced woke ideology throughout their company. They're probably the biggest purveyor, I would argue, maybe aside from Activision, when it comes to pushing the woke ideology in their corporate culture and into their games. And they're paying the price for this now. Star Wars Outlaws obviously is the most recent example, but you can go back and look at Avatar, Lands of Pandora or something like that, had really soft sales. They just released X-Defiant earlier this year, a free-to-play looter shooter game. Doesn't look like it has performed as well as what they would have thought, even after that kind of initial boon that they did have. They did have an initial boon when it first came out, but I think that shine is already worn off. And we were seeing reports that massive decline in the player base there. We can't really track that through Steam because I think it's only through their the Ubisoft platform that they have, and then maybe Epic Games. It's not on Steam yet. And then we can look at Skull and Bones. That was an absolute boondoggle. It took over a decade to produce, and the player base on that does not look really good right now, at least since it's come out. And then they've also just delayed a bunch of games that were supposed to come out on mobile later this year. Those will not be coming out until next year, and those are supposed to be good revenue drivers. So there's a lot of negative things coming here. Obviously, Star Wars Outlaws being the most recent, Assassin's Creed Shadows coming up in November, and there's a lot of kind of gamer backlash against these. There's Mark Kern, aka Grums, former World of Warcraft team lead. He's been leading kind of a campaign to boycott all AAA games for the next 2 years to kind of put these companies on notice and let them know that gamers are uninterested in these woke products. And I think this is kind of coming full circle here now, because if you go later on through the article, the sales are really soft from all reports that we have, whether that is comparing it to Star Wars Jedi Survivor in the UK. The UK sales chart, it's apparently down 55% compared to that game. And that is reflective on some charts that we have where it comes as part of player engagement. There is a website called True Trophies where they do the top 40 most popular PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games. The game came in its first week in the 25th position, and it's already fallen to 28th in its second week. To provide some color on that, Concord, which was literally scrapped 2 weeks after it was released, in its beta and early access, it was only 29th on that chart. So that's how poor Star Wars Outlaws seems to be performing. I think even if you go to a website like psnprofiles.com, it only looked like it was maybe 3-4 times the number of owners compared to Concord. So that's really, really soft as far as what they were looking for this game. And I think they already had lowered their second quarter revenues to 500 million euros in their last quarterly report. So they had already kind of indicating that this game, which is Star Wars Outlaws, came out here in their second quarter, already indicating that the sales were going to be low and that they kind of knew that was going to happen. And you even had an investor asking them, like, I'm crunching some numbers here, come up to about 5 million units. That doesn't seem to kind of represent how positive you're being about this game. And then the guy just kind of like, the CEO is just like, yeah, well, it's really positive. It's got a lot of places that you can explore. Obviously, games comes out, massive bugs. They have a game-breaking day one patch that they have to put out because players are literally flying off the planet and then they can't get back down to the planet. They're stuck in space, can't actually progress through the game on PlayStation. So they released a game that was just completely broken and had to do a day one patch. And people had played like 6-7 hours, maybe more in some cases, and had to literally restart the game from scratch. And just kind of wasted all of that gameplay that they did. So that is kind of what's going on there with the Star Wars Outlaws stuff. But then we have the Slovakian investor. They're called AJ Investments. They've come in. They released this open letter to Ubisoft, basically calling.
We predicted a Slovakian investor, by the way, John. For years, we've said, look out for the Slovakian investors. They're going to come in.
Yes, they came in and are said, get rid of the CEO, who is Yves Guillemot. He needs to go. He's mismanaging the company. He's driving the stock down. They actually, I don't know if there's like a misinterpretation or a mistranslation, but in their open letter that they published, it says that they believe that he is actually driving the stock down artificially. So his family, which there's like 10 or 12 of them, of these Guillemots, so they can buy up the stock at a lower price to take more control of the company. Interestingly, while they want him out, they do want the company to go private. They feel that the company is being driven too much by big investors like Bank of America, like Barclays, like some of these other big banks that are there. Blackstone. Not liking that Ubisoft is having to be kind of influenced by that, wants them to get back to making quality games that gamers actually want to play, want to purchase, rather than trying to create products that are primarily for investors and this constant growth and everything like that. Would rather have them go back to a private company, and they're encouraging the Guillemot family with a partnership with Tencent to do that. And if not, they said that they can go and find other private equity investors who are already willing to move in. And then kind of the cherry on top of all of this is that I guess there's some French law that is going to allow them to kind of activate other minority shareholders within the company to start the process for Ubisoft to actually have to sell sell the company and go private. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but that is in their open letter that they are threatening
Excellent.
To activate.
Excellent analysis. Hang on a second, guys. Okay, this from the Profax. Let's see. This is from. Hang on. Okay, this is from Ubisoft. They want me to let you know, Culture, that they have nothing against Blackstone Grills. It is Black Rock, which has investment in them. Please do not, folks, boycott any of your grilling items that you may, or griddle items. Apologies, Blackstone. We know that you're a griddle, not a grill. Culture, beyond your faux pas there, I have heard that. You may think you may counter me. I have heard that they may actually delay Grand Theft Auto, the next one, because they are so panicked inside the gaming industry that Star Wars Outlaws represents a failure of woke to such a degree that they don't need to put out woke games.
Yeah, no, there's spillover all across the industry. Concord. I mean, there's a series of games that have just, come out and just died on the vine. And this is another example. So
epically died on the vine.
Sure. Yes, I did understate it. That's correct. But it's funny. I mean, if you take a look all the way back to the Squad killed the Justice League, which was Warner Brothers' massive failure, you're starting to see cascading failures. And so Take-Two Interactive, who owns Rockstar, is definitely paying attention to this. And they've already come out with their risk statement in their 10K. What was that, about a month and a half ago, Jonas, if I remember correctly? John, do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they came out in their 10K and basically said, look, this is a risk factor. If we release a game that the gamers don't want and it's full of this stuff, they could hurt us. Now, they didn't say that explicitly, and it was obviously between
negative
the lines.
Reviews.
Yeah, negative reviews. Yeah. And of course, all the shill gaming sites, the non-urinalists, the non.
They have no influence. That's what we've learned from Star Wars Outlaws. They have no influence.
Yeah. So they've come out and said, well, that's from review bombing. No, it's from customers not wanting to buy into this ideology. And so you are seeing the call for perhaps a delay from a reliable source. Right now, it's a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. But as we reported it on That Game Place yesterday, you can almost take it to the bank. What usually happens when something like this leaks is they accelerate their announcement. I would expect in the next 15 days, we'll hear from Rockstar saying, yeah, we're going to push the game back. We want to give you a full polished game, which means we want to remove a bunch of junk. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do want to interject on that. So we did cover that on thatparkplace.com as well. And the guy who did publish that initial rumor, you can still read that on the website, but he has since deleted those posts.
Oh, I bet he has.
He has issued a statement saying that he's not trusting the people that gave him that information moving forward. This comes after Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier, who previously worked at Kotaku, citing 6 employees at Rockstar, saying that they have not heard anything about the game being delayed. And if you just go back to August 8th was when Take-Two had its most recent earnings report. They indicate in that report that the game is still expected to come out in fall 2025.
Now, you said the posts have been deleted, but they're still up on the website, John.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you click them, they're still there.
I'm just thinking that you're an excellent cataloger of information, and I was going to just say to folks out there, if you'd like to have what happens on the web archived when it's newsworthy, That Park Place is the place to be. So
I think right there you can see that that's deleted right there. See, it says
right,
not
but it's still on the site. Because you archived it in the article. Yeah. Right. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Right, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So, but he did delete that post right there that you can see.
Well, so kudos to you, John.
I will still say I'm going to tip towards the idea that this could be delayed again. But, hey, maybe if he recanted, that is a good
How long has it been in development?
Wow. Theoretically, about 8 years, 7, 8 years. I mean, it's been in a serious development in the last 4.
So the fall of woke could push GTA 6 into something like a 9 to 10 year development cycle.
I don't know. Again, if there is some kind of a delay, but like I said, returning to the Ubisoft story,
yep.
It's not surprising to me that investors are seeing, just a complete collapse of these stocks, and they want to, for whatever reason, bolster these companies back up again. I would expect perhaps that, you're going to see AJ Investments joined by another substantial capital partner, and they may use those French laws to take over. It wouldn't surprise me. The launch of Star Wars Outlaws was just the latest fail, and they've got one more
On all
coming.
fronts.
Yeah. And they got one more coming, right, John? We got Assassin's Creed Shadows coming, and that thing
Right.
is
So
dog.
I mean, obviously, those are the two big ones: with Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows. But you have to remember, they launched X Defiant this year as well. From what we're seeing from out of Insider Gaming, which they clearly have some kind of connection with Ubisoft because they get a lot of the Ubisoft information, that game has fallen off the cliff, and they're not happy about it. We've already seen them shut down. It's actually kind of close to me. They're out of Raleigh in North Carolina. They were working on a new Division game. They completely shut that down earlier this year after it had been in development, I think, for a couple of at least 2 or 3 years now, seemingly making some good progress on that. Completely shut down, repurposing that for Rainbow Six Siege and X Defiant. But they might be even repurposing people out of X Defiant. The company is massive. I think they have like 20,000 some employees. One of the things that AJ Investments wants them to do is basically sell a bunch of these studios because they're working on maybe niche properties that aren't generating the revenue that they want to generate, and focus more on kind of the big IPs. It's just, we hear that from David Zasloff at Warner Brothers, right? That's kind of we hear that a lot from a lot of these executives. Focus on the big IPs, do things like that. Interestingly enough, Sony's the opposite. They're like, we don't have enough IPs. We need more IPs. We want to create new ones. So kind of different philosophies there, I guess, from some of these studios.
Very well said. And it is the fallout of going woke yet again, metastasizing into another industry. We watched it kill the film. We watched it kill streaming. And now it is gleaming over in the gaming industry. No fun for them, but the lesson was not learned. Folks, we have to say goodbye for now. Oh, what sorrow it is saying sayonara, but fret not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day, by the way. And Thrice is Nice right here on the Pro Channel. Come back and check us out. We launch a video in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening every single day. And we love doing so. You can help us continue to fight back against the crazies and the wackos of Holly Weird by clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and share this sucker out on your favorite social media platforms. Folks, until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, thank you for inviting us into your day. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.